everybody, to episode, I don't know, 23 of Let's Build the Settlement in Vault 88. And as you can see, my plan is working. These guys are hard at work killing all these mole rats for me, at least trying to anyway. That guy's not doing so well. But the others did pretty well. They just fired up the game, and all of a sudden I heard a bunch of shots being fired, and first I thought I was being attacked by raiders, but nope, just turns out mole rats. More and more mole rats. Here you go, dude. I'll take care of that for you. But yeah, that one's dead. There's another one up here that got dead. There's some blood. There you go. Alright. Let's make our way back to... water. Oh, yeah. So, off screen, I put in lights and I finished the tunnel. I went all the way back and connected it to the big room, as well as filling in the gaps on both sides, so those are all closed off. And I finished closing off some of the walls in here. Just a few little things that I didn't take care of. This corner I'm still undecided about, so I haven't touched that yet. And I do plan on coming back in here, don't worry. One day we're going to be back in here, we're going to do some decorating, making a couple of rooms with some beds and such. But not today. Going this way. It's the right tunnel. Yeah, we're just going to finish up one or two things here in the water section real quick, so I get stuck. And then we are moving back towards the park, which everybody's been eagerly waiting for. So, in some of the comments, I don't know, a week or two ago, somebody had talked about a water feature and making it so that... That guy over a little bit. We had like some sort of way for the water actually coming in here, and I had mentioned that in one of my videos that I was going to do something like that, and we're going to do that. We're going to put a waterfall in here. We're going to go to S.O.E. and to the pools section, waterfalls. And we're going to put a waterfall in here, which of course is going to look like black ink, so we're going to have to see if we can do something to make that look a little better. But before we do that, I'm going to get some rocks. And the reason being is because we got to create a space for the water to come out of, because otherwise it's just going to look kind of weird. So let's go into nature, into rocks. Let's turn off our highlighting. There we go, so we can see what our rocks look like. Because we want to get something that, you know, nothing like these guys. We want something that's going to match the type of rocks that we have going on here, which that's not too bad. Not so much, maybe. Alright, let's go back to... That matches fairly well. That one's not too bad. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we're going to use something like this guy. I'm going to put that there. Use a couple of these because we're going to kind of create a, I don't know, exit shelf typey dealy. We're just going to keep using this guy to kind of build this up to make it look a little more natural. Your name is Al. I'm not talking about you. Throw this in here, make this as natural looking as we possibly can. It doesn't look so fake and artificial. Hey, that's not too bad. Nice. Now, we need something with kind of a flatter bottom. So we've got to create basically a gap for the water to be like seeping out of. That's not too bad. Use this guy. That. Flip it around on that side. Like so. Actually, let's get back to that yet. Just kind of fill some of this in. Maybe we'll use a different one for there. Alright, let's see what else we got. Ooh, that's perfect. Let's kind of bridge this gap here once we decide our direction. That's pretty decent. And then we'll just keep adding layers upon layers to just really make this, like I've been saying, look as natural as we possibly can. It just kind of looks like it's always been here or something, you know? Kind of like that face. Maybe we will throw a little bit of something like that in here. Like that. Just keep rotating it. Rotate. Make sure you never keep using the same side over and over. Actually, that looks like a mouth. That's awesome. Kind of looks like a Homer Simpson mouth. Do. Throw a little color into that. Got some red oranges going on. Drop that one down. Make this look like it's part of it. There we go. Okay. So now we've got some sort of exit thing going on here. Let's see what other rocks we have. Maybe throw some of these up top. Try to blend this in as much as possible. So the other person who had made the comment originally had said something about possibly putting in some plant life too. Maybe we'll be able to do that once we try to blend this in a little better. Because right now it is looking a little bit too much like a mouth. Usually I only use like 1 or 2 rocks when I do this kind of thing, so this time we're actually going a little nutsoid with it. Just to try and do something. Alright, now let me see. I think over in CVC we have rocks as well. Yeah, I think there's like, yeah, some bigger, chunkier things we can possibly throw in just to try to help us out a little bit. Throw that guy there. Rotate. Like that. Not bad. Basically, like, we just want this little gap here, and I just kind of went a little crazy with it. We're also going to want some rocks down below, and you'll see why once we actually put some water in place. So, let's go back into here, and here, and here, and here, and now. And let's see, we want maybe the medium. No, yet. Where's my? Oh, I gotta turn my highlighting back on so I can actually see where. There we go. Let's see. Small's too quiet. Yeah, we're gonna go for the medium. I like the sound of the medium. So we're just gonna start piling these in. We gotta turn off our snapping so that I can rebuild this as best I can. I'll just keep kind of throwing a bunch of these in. Make this look as much as we can, like it's actually coming out of the rocks, yeah. Going down into the water. Now you're saying, well, now it's just like going in there. It doesn't really look like it's doing its thing. That's what we need the rocks for down here. Maybe we'll throw in some lights to kind of make this look white instead of inky. But on the whole, not bad. It actually does look like it's coming right out of there, and that's what's feeding our thing. Yes, we want the large one. Perfect. I think. No. Let's see. Let's just make it for now. So pick it up. No, that's too low. So hard to tell. There we go. Where our surface is. So we'll put it roughly about there. Except I'm gonna move it. Move out there. The perspective is always going to be kind of off, so it's a bit difficult at times. Alright, let's go back into CVC, get some rocks. And let's turn our highlighting back off so we can actually see these guys. There we go. Nice, that's kind of what I'm looking for. And let's turn off our surface snapping because that's mucking things up. So now, by putting this rock in place like that, we don't see that water going like straight down, all the way down to the ground in there. We're actually having something that breaks it up and makes it look like it's actually stopping like right here. So we're just going to kind of throw that guy in there. We'll just do something like that. Boom. And there it is. Of course, we've got to turn our highlighting because I think... Oh, I can't grab it. Sweet. We got to move that guy back a little bit. course, now you can't really see it. Oh, no, you can. Just the bad lighting. So, let's see. We want to actually light this guy up somehow. On the resources, lights. That might be a bad idea. We can get the... Is there one that faces just forward? Not really. Whoa! Well, let's try that. Nah. That's one of the ones that doesn't really give off light. It just, like, fakes that there's a beam of light there. Maybe. Maybe we could do something like that. Nah, not strong enough. Dagnabbit. We could do, like, some accent lighting. No, not doing it. Right, let's try, just for ships and bibbles. Is there... Yeah, street light. I want to see something here. Yeah, it's not really doing anything, unfortunately. Let's try a more normal light. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's fine. Yeah, it's not really changing it. So it is what it is. But there we go. We got ourselves a nice little waterfall feature, so now we know where the water is coming from. Thinking maybe we will try to put some plants in here. But I think actually, you know what? We're going to use the Cooler tab, Decorative, Garden, and we're going to use some of like the wall vines, I think, maybe. It's pretty neat. Urinal. Nice. Alright, what do we got? So I can use some of this for the Giant Slab stuff. Alright, not these. We're going for the more natural vine stuff. Let's see. Sort of that. Definitely not those. Yeah, sort of like these guys. This will try to add a little more realism to what we got going on here. Perfect. Of course, you want to mix this up as much as you can. Don't keep using the same ones over and over again. Or if you do, do that. Just like flip them. Of course, you want to mix and match your different types to try and make it seem as realistic as possible with all kinds of variations. Yeah, I like that guy. Well, we're gonna just put that like that, so it looks like it's hanging down. What else we got? Of course, I think, yeah, there's some of these dudes here that we can use to help with our rocks down here. So now you might be thinking like, oh, all these plants can't be good. Actually, no, that's probably a very good thing because they're helping to oxygenate the water and filter out impurities, I guess, maybe. Even though we have all these purifiers going on, but still. And it just, in the whole, adds some realism to it. There we go, there's a nice hanger doer. I want the green one though. Yeah. There we go. Now we're getting some realism. I think that's enough. I think I went a little overboard. But that's okay. We're having some fun. And I mean, you could do the same thing throughout the entire thing, just like randomly place some plants. So I think we're actually going to do that. Just to help give us a little life to some of this. Yeah, that guy there. We're just going to be very, very subtle with it. We might even like hang something from overhead. Because why not? This guy like that. He needs a little friend, so let's give him something like that. Now let's go back to, yeah, these guys. These like right here, they're growing right around the pipes. This is going to really help add some depth to the what hair. I don't know why I just went French, but why not? I like French toast. I'm sure you guys do too. It's one of the coolest things out there. For all you French toast eaters, what kind of bread do you guys like? I tend to go for Pepperidge Farm, because Pepperidge Farm actually makes a cinnamon bread that is really freaking good on its own, and then you add in the mix of your French toast mix, etc., and it's just banging. Good stuff. Okay. Let's put one of these guys in here. Nice. Have this one stick out of the water a little bit. Like that. Cool. Now, could... Oh, no. Never mind. Never mind. I'm not even going to say it. Because we got other plans. Nice. Okay. All done. Let's get the heck out of here. Go down. Yaw. Yaw. And... Yaw. There we are. We're back to the park. Where I got a sandbox and you don't. Ah! Alright, let's do a save. Nope. We're just gonna make a new one. Okay. So a bunch of you guys were giving me a hard time about the fact that I didn't have any toys in the sandbox. And I had planned to put some in there. I just plumb forgot as I got excited and moved along to do other things. So, we're gonna do some of that. Let's see, holidays, no, we don't want any of that. Rooms, toys and games, here we go. Let's see, cars. Stick car in here. Nice. Maybe a twuck. Somebody was playing with the cars and the trucks in the sand. Probably something I would have done as a little kid. Motorcycle, get out of here. Alright, what else we got? Robots. Yeah, stick a robot in here. Nice. What were these? Just boxes. Alright, now we got some plush toys. You know what? We need one of these dudes. Of course we do. That looks so much like it belongs here. Perfect. And you know what? Yeah, let's throw a two-headed Brahmin. We're about to fight. Roar. Boom. Okay, what else? Nope. I suppose we can throw one of these in here. Why not? Perfect. Nice. We got toys for the kitties in the sandbox. Ooh, like these. Maybe some kid is over here playing in this corner all by himself with his track. Love it. Oh, we got a boat. Heck yeah. Right into the water. Alright. We gotta be careful though, because we gotta make sure it doesn't look like it's under the water. Let's see, how does that look? Not bad. Yeah, let's dip that down. A couple of boops. Of course, no matter what, it's going to kind of look like it's just not in the water. It's hard to get that just right. Let's dip it down a little bit more. Especially since this is such light-colored water. But we're going to add some plant life and some fishies to this. That's what I was going to say before. Should I add fish? But no, because we want fish in here. And where are my fish? G2M, right? Ahaba. Fish farm. Fishies. There we go. Okay, let's put them there. There you go. Put them too low. I must have. Oh no, there they are. They're just got a mind of their own. Little buggers, how dare you. Sweet. Got some schools of fishies. Perfect. Throw some down over in here too. And last but not least, one. Why not? Okay, now we're gonna put in some plant life. I had mentioned about doing that like eons ago. So we're gonna do that now. We're gonna get, here we go. Garden. Now we gotta do this all over again. I'm not gonna have any vines going up the walls though. I want this to be like really clean looking. So we're just gonna put like a little bit of plant life here and there in the water, like the flatter ones that we were using before. Nope, not those. Nope, those are wall. Maybe something like that, yeah. Put something like that maybe in here. Gotta give the fish, you know, something to kind of hide in. There we go. Something like that. Let's see. Oh, those are weird hangy ones. Enable this. I haven't said that in a while. Actually, you know what? I don't want to do that there. We're going to do that one over here. Perfect. Not bad, not bad. I want to work that a little bit. So you know what, we're going to do a little layering. That just wasn't looking right. No, that's too high. I'm gonna have to add something else into that. That just ain't flying. That's just way too big. Alright. We're gonna have to see if I can find some of that grass again. I don't remember where I got that from originally. But we'll try to do something about that. There we go. Fishies. Now you got some hiding spots for you. Too crazy because I want this to be nice looking, but we need a little bit of plant life in here. Okay. One thing you can do, I'm going to zip through all these because I think these are all just regular continuation of ugly vines. No, we don't want to use any of these guys. I suppose we could put some fungi in here. Maybe. Put that over here. Eh, I don't like it. Let me get rid of that. Oh, I have my snapping turned off. There we go. Okay, let's see. I think the others might have come from CVC. Let's see. Decals. These are all... Oh, geez, stuff. We don't want that. What we got here? There are some plants. Not really what I'm looking for. Effects, no, wouldn't be under that, no. Maybe it was Homemaker then, or... Actually, you know what? I think it was... Here we go. Actually use stuff like this. Not that specific one. We're gonna actually put this here. Add a little flower, floral, something. But we can take... Oh wait, no, that's a potato plant. We don't want that. Stuff like this. Make this actually look like an underwater plant. Nice. Not so much. Actually, yeah, we probably could. Kind of looks like water lilies or something. You know what? Let's make that. Turn off our highlighting. And we'll get this guy like just on the surface. In the corner. So it looks like a surface floating plant. Nice! Let's dip that down just a little. Looked like it was floating above the water. Can't be having that. Of course, I can't really tell. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let's pull the water out. And then let's look here. Okay. Do that. That should be good. Put that back. Perfect. Nice. Okay. And I like to use these sometimes too, because they look like they could be water plants. No, they're really not, but who cares? It's your universe. Do what you want. And you don't want to use those. That's a bit much. There's the bramble. The bramble is actually really good at blending in, doing some stuff. We're actually going to use that guy over here to help hide some of my tomfoolery. Perfect. We got this guy that's just kind of sitting here in the middle, looking a little awkward. We're going to give him a little help. This was just this weird little stripe just sitting there that just wasn't jiving. Ooh, look at that big guy. Perfect. Rah, getting stuck. And then we'll throw these in here. You put them in just the tips. It makes it look like you got some different colored grass. So everything's not perfectly green like that. Add a little variety. This makes the fish happy too. Look at them. See how excited they are? And don't cover every space either, because then it's going to look really unnatural. You just want little bits here and there. You don't want to go too crazy with this stuff. Flowers. No, that's all ugly stuff. Where's my regular... Ooh, yeah, these guys too. These are pretty nice. Randomly throw some of this in here as well. You don't want everything to look perfect. Otherwise it's not going to look natural. Throw a little bit right in there. Of course, that doesn't look natural either, that they're swimming in through the rocks, but there's nothing I can do about that. They don't have any collision, nothing, so it is what it is. Do the best you can. Let's step back and look. Not bad, not bad. We'll definitely throw in some something over in here. This is looking a little barren. A little bit of that. Twist it. Bit. Let's go back to my other dudes. Yep, these guys. A little bit of variation, as I've been saying. Oh, something right in here too. Nice. I like it. Got plenty of variety here. Beautiful. Okay. Don't think there was anything else I was going to add to this. Nope, that's good, that's good. Got plenty of plant life going on throughout here. We got trees. I don't like that flower though. Let's get rid of that guy. Carrot flowers. Yeah, not pretty enough. Should we put something like this in here though? Maybe back here to help hide that whole gravel nonsense or something. We'll start with these. We'll throw in a few little friends. Do a different color. Big guy right there. Yeah, whatever. Good enough. Okay. All done. Now, we're back into here. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be that. That's going to be that. Okay. Good idea to save. Ew. No, we don't use quick save. Never ever use quick save. I mean, you can. I don't trust it, as I've said. Okay. So, let me see. What should we do? Maybe we should finish doing the ceiling here. Just to kind of close things off as best we can. None of that is going to be visible. We're going to actually cut it off, turn our highlighting back on. Somewhere in here. We'll figure it out. Let's see. Nope, before we do that, actually... Institute Force. Okay. No, we're going to go ahead and do some of that anyway. So let's go to SOE. Institute Flores. I think that's the one. Yep. Perfect. I'm not going to waste any assets there because that's going to get cut off somewhere. So we'll stop that one right there. And let's see. I think, yeah, we can come out that far. Just build straight this way for now. Once again, we're using this to kind of give us a mock-up of cloudy sky. We're going to make this look like outdoor world still before we get back into like full-on vault and institute building, etc. How's our height? Ooh, we're going to hit. Dang. We'll have to figure that out. You know, there are... Oh no! They changed it. They used to have the ramps that were just like slanted without a base there. Maybe here? No. Dang. They got rid of that. That was so perfect, and I was going to use that for other stuff in future builds. But now I can't. Dang. Why'd you have to change that? Those are perfect the way they were. Excuse me. My voice starting to crackle. I must have just hit puberty or something. Yeah, old man hit puberty. What the heck? Okay. Well, we'll have to come back to that section and figure it out as we zip along. Okay, so we'll build up to those spots, and then we'll figure something out. I really don't want to lower it any more than it already is, because it's just gonna give us problems. But we'll have to find some way to incorporate that, or do something, or block it off. Probably can get away with when we do some storefronts. Maybe we can build a building right into that to help hide it. Let's see. Let's continue this way for now. That there. We'll put one everywhere we can until they get cut off. We'll do okay right there. For now. Let's bring these over. I don't know where we're gonna stop fully. So let's just do that. Okay, let's see. Alright, so we're going to have to do a hard cutoff like here. So you stay away from all of that. And then we just have this, which unfortunately I cannot get rid of. And, oof, that's right there too. Yeah, we're going to have to try to find a way to hide that whole section right there, because I really don't want to lose any of this space. So yeah, we're going to have to try to figure out how to put a building or something there. Because I really don't want any more rock other than this exposed. Okay. Now that we have that, let's fill in some grass. Snappy. All the way into the end. Oh no, here. The grass. We want the good stuff all the way at the back. Right. Oh, not that. There we go. We're just gonna... We might end up taking some of this out, but for now we're just kind of putting it here. Because there's gonna be buildings going on, but for now we're just gonna kind of do this. Because we can. because I said so. Oop. Connect to that guy. There, that one there. That's probably going to be more walkway, so let's just do that. And I'm actually probably going to change all this out for half grass, because we're going to put some building facades here to make it look like we actually have buildings. And the other real buildings will go over there. Actually, let's save all these. I just put them all in, but we might put some of them back if we have like some gaps or something between buildings. We'll figure it out. And then of course we'll put our walkways in as we build our buildings. Let's just go ahead and throw a bunch of these in real quick just to help us plot our buildings. Okay. Now we're going to start with some of the easy stuff. We're going to go into commercial. Let's see. We want... Yeah. What do we want? You know what? Let's put one of these guys in. These are nice. Get them to go in the right way. That's going to be backwards, I think. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Snapped. I think it would. Ah, sweet. Okay. And let's put in... no, I kind of like these. Snap. There we go. Oh, look at that. That one didn't go all the way to the... There it goes. We'll have to put some steps in place for that. Put that guy there. And why not? Or do we want to change that up? Nah. I think we'll just do something like that. It's a big old grand building. Why not, right? Okay. Put some steps in place. That's not correct. Why are you not snapping the way I want you to? Go down. There we go. And then we'll just put a little itty-bitty bit of sidewalk there. Let's get some glass to fill this in. We want something very opaque to help hide the fact that there's nothing back there. No, we don't want that one because that one's got grids built into it. I want opaque but without looking dirty. Perfect. That guy there, that guy there, that one there. Perfecto. That one we'll just do ourselves, like so. Of course, now we can see all that rock because we have more light over here. Actually, yeah, we are going to be getting rid of these lights. Perfect. But we're just using them for building. But now we've got our first facade. And we don't want all our buildings to look exactly the same. So now we're going to go into shell kit and we're going to try something completely different. We're going to go with like a storefront, a classic storefront. Is that, oh, that's an angle. Why is that an angle? Should I go to... What the heck? Oh, I guess these are all... No. There's a regular one. Okay. Let's see. Really? You're going to snap like everything wrong? There we go. Except you're backwards. You gotta... Actually, I don't think it really matters. Alright, whatever. Does it? Let's see. Oh, no, it does. Okay. So, let's borrow that guy. Put that up for a second. Boom! Okay. Put this guy back. Perfect. And we need storefront. Turn around. There you go, Skippy. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now we need an upper floor. You know what? We could just do that. Cheap out. Or should we? Maybe I'll put... You know what? Let's do a brick upper part. Like that. That's the right way. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was fine. Let's put... Oh no, that's an angle piece. We don't want that. of want to break this up a little bit. Let's see, how does that look? Not bad. Let's put something a little more decorative in there. Let's see. Yeah, something like one of these guys or something. Not bad. Of course, now that's getting cut off, so we can't have that. We could do something simple like that. Oof, those really don't match up at all. I'm looking at the color texture there. There we go. It looks very definitively different. And of course I don't want the same thing going on through the whole thing. Alright, let's get out of there. Let's try maybe some of these. Nah, not feeling that. Definitely not that. I mean, we could just use some plain, but nah. Okay. Gotta be something in here. Concord Museum. Maybe. Ooh. Yeah, we got a wiener. Okay. Get rid of that guy. Put that one in there. Perfect. Once we put some glass in as well, it'll start to help. We might have to put some other stuff in there to kind of cover some of it up, but on the whole, not bad. Might shrink this one just so we can throw another building in here to kind of give us a little more variety. Maybe. Take out... Let's take that guy out. Move this one over here. Move that there. I don't care about it at the moment. Oh yeah, the glass. Something's wrong here. Really? Okay. Let's just do that. Why are you not clicking? Weirdo. Okay. I'll take that. Fill these in. I know there's glass already on that top part, but you know, it's dark enough, I think we could probably leave it. Okay. Nope. Had it, and I lost it. There we go. Alright, now let's throw another something in here. What else we got? Maybe one of these. Let's see. Oh, what else do we have before I commit to a doorway and all that? Not bad. Actually, yeah, we were going to want to do a different color for sure. Garage, old state house. Oops. Yeah, let's change our color. I love this color. This is one of my favorites. Alright, so where we start, let's get our friend going here. Come on, cooperate. Perfect. Pop that cat out. That cat in. Nice. Alright, what else we got in here? Like better. We'll do that. Turn around. Really? There we go. Too many darn snapping points. You know what? These look like upper floor windows. Love it. Now we got some variety. Okay. Now, we need some sidewalks. What am I going to do for sidewalks? Let's look in here. So we actually have something like that. Let's turn off our snapping. That's very Silent Hill looking. Not... Yeah, I think I like that a little better. Love it. Alright, what else? Nope. Minis. Oh, I probably could have used that instead. Yeah, that's probably a better idea. There we go. Okay, we also have the footpath. We're going to use that. For this, we're going to use this guy. I love these. These things are so cool looking. And they do snap to each other. First we gotta fix this, because it looks like garbage. Snap. Okay. Let's do the front first. Now we'll do that. Okay, and then we'll just have to boop this over because it's just a little off. Maybe back one. Perfect. Now we'll put that guy like that. Nice. And then as for this one, I mean, we probably could do something like that, or like that. Thinking that probably the regular sidewalk probably would look better. Let's check that out real quick. Not that, obviously. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. There we go. Turn off our snapping. Something like this in place. Yeah, I think that looks like it belongs a little better. Perfect. Look at that. And then add, no, let's go back to Snappy. Sorry. Lights. Ooh. Wasn't planning on that, but I'm going to put these on here. Perfect. But it was here for these guys. Not those guys, these guys. We're going to use the same idea as we did in the other section of the park. Put one there. Yeah, we'll put one here. Perfect. And we'll put one here. And then we'll hold off. Nice. Okay. Doors. Let's see. What do we have? Like that. Snapping. Door. There we go. We've got another door. Perfect. Okay, let's put some glass in. Do the same up here. Go. Snapping. What am I doing? Huh. No, I don't want to do that. Alright, I guess I'm just going to have to roll with it. Oh, shoot. Alright, we'll have to fix that in a second. There we go. So, I mean, there is glass already in these, but not opaque like I want. Oh, those are too thin. I suppose I could. There we go. Let's just do that. And that. Nice. Okay, then once you take that guy away, boom! Now you can't really see in there. And yeah, I think we'll do the same as I was going to do with this originally. Let's see. No. We'll go back to the full-size one. There we go. Let's throw this in here. Get it behind the grates. Glitching. Alright. There we go. We got the first bits of our facade going. We'll have a little bit of that going on over here as well. We're going to do kind of the same thing. We're going to cut these in half and build up so that none of that is visible. And we'll wrap it around. We'll do a nice wraparound building. Something more along the styles of those guys, the brick buildings, because they got plenty of stuff to work with that. Then over here is where the actual storefronts are going to go. So, yeah, we'll figure out how to cover all of that up. Yeah, I wish this stupid thing didn't dip down so much, but it is what it is. We'll figure out the design as we go along. But so far, so good. Alright, folks, that is going to do it for this episode. I thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all next time. Till then, don't get irradiated.